Alright, so here we go. We are going to be taking a look now, starting with the High Elves. We got ourselves some Spearmen, 2 white lines of Trace, make that 3. Gonna have Lothran Seaguard behind that white line of Trace front line. Spearmen supporting the Equal Claw Bolt Thrower. We have an Ithelmar Chariot, interesting choice. I usually recommend the Tyrannok Chariot for those magic missiles. I have a second Equal Claw Bolt Thrower and some Spearmen holding down this flank. I like the deployment of the High Elves here. Nice use of the terrain on the map. We also will have a Moon Dragon and Alariel the Radiant up in the air. Looks like she's got Star of Averlorn, Stave of Averlorn, Arcane Conduit, Tempest, Earthblood, Frost Protection, Shieldstone of Isha. Over here, the Pak Sentinels, Cold One Spear Riders are vanguarded in the rear. These guys are immune to psychology, and they just look mean as all get out. So looking forward to seeing how they are used. Also, on the other side of the forest, Illyrian Reavers were here scouting to see if anything was vanguarded. So we'll see if they discover them, and if they do, they'll have to act quickly because these guys will just tear them apart. So I'm sure I don't know what the High Elves will send into that. But anyways, I get ahead of myself. We have the Lore Master of Hoeth here with Spirit Leech and Book of Hoeth. And then the Lizardmen, who are going to have some Skink cohort, Saurus Warriors with shields, red-crested Skinks, another 2 units of Saurus Warriors with shields for a total of 3. 2 red-crested Skinks, 2 Skink cohort. And then we have some Cold One Spear Riders on the right flank, supporting Chameleon Skinks. And for the remainder of this army, the leadership is going to consist of an Ancient Salamander. Hello. And then we have a Salon Mage Priest of Light, who's going to have Banishment on top of Shield of the Old Ones, R of Quetzal, Biona's Time Warp, Net of Mintok, and Foz Protection. As always, got that Greater Arcane Conduit active on top of them whenever they're casting. Or, sorry, activated on top of them constantly. So, Blizzard's going to have to play this very patiently. Don't want these guys to get singled out before the rest of your army can close the gap. Right now, the High Elves are doing a good job just focusing down this single unit of Saurus Warriors with shields. However, I do, in most circumstances, I just like having the single shot on more. Even if it does a little less damage, it kills models a lot more. Because as you can see, after all those shots and them taking about almost a quarter of their damage, they've only lost 6 models. And I do think the Ancient Salamander or something like that may be the better pick here. Ooh. First shot from that Ancient Salamander going into these white lines of Trace, killing 6 models. Or no, sorry, 1 model. That would be insanity. And here comes the Ithelmar Chariots, getting ready to carve a path through these Saurus Warriors, who are going to stop and brace themselves for the charge, but it'll be in vain because those Ithelmar Chariots are just crushing the infantry here. They're just going to go their merry way. Okay, we have the Moon Dragon over here, looking like she's waiting for something to come this way. Perhaps these Cold One Spear Riders have some Spearmen coming over on this side as well. Foz Protection going down on top of this white line of Trace to help them out. And I have to really like the High Elves play here. You know, a lot of units doing a lot of different things at once, and the magic has been on point. You know, Foz Protection supporting those guys in combat very early in the engagement. So we'll see what happens from here. But this is where the High Elves could find themselves in a lot of trouble here. There's going to be a gap, and that's going to be beautifully exploited by the Lizardman player here. But it does actually look like they got turned around a little bit and got stuck on these guys somewhat. But now the High Elves are really going to find themselves in a precarious situation because they have 3 units of cavalry in their back line. The Illyrian Reavers are diving in to stop one of them, but that's just not going to be enough at the moment. However, we do see the Moon Dragon diving in to do some nice damage to these Cold One Spear Riders. And looks like the Lizardmen actually I thought would have exploited that a bit more. But now they're coming over this way, and it looks like High Elves may have some time to recover and counter the movement. but this Moondragon needs to be careful. Especially with Saurus Warriors coming in on the other side. We just saw a big banishment come through here, doing some nice damage on top of the white lines of Trace by the looks of it. But the Tyrannok Chariots are still very much in play, and as long as they're alive, they're just going to be doing work. Over here, we see a Star of Avalorn getting popped on top of the Moondragon, keeping it as healthy as can be, as Alariel and him keep on killing off models of these Cold One Spear Riders. One Spear Rider is terror routing. However, the High Elf Spearmen are also routing off the field right now, but a Tyrannok Chariot has come back to support, and it looks like the Lothran Seaguard and Spearmen are coming in to engage in this combat as well. So it's a very close engagement, but this is really going to be the game decider in my opinion. Is if the High Elves can kill off this Lizardmen cavalry force, they should be okay as long as they're microed well to win the rest of the game, especially with this Ilthamar Chariot still being so healthy. Alright, now we have the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower targeting the Salon Mage Priest. Looks like both of them are, yeah, both of them are actually doing that. And the High Elves have really done a good job of just kind of setting up a zone defense back here, utilizing the chariots, the spears, and the Moondragon to the best of their ability to protect it. And I think the sacrifice of the Illyrian Reavers was definitely a good decision, although I'd always love to see these guys coming back into combat. They could be needed. Oh, there goes a breath, and that breath is going to delete a lot of these Velociraptors. That's going to be some lovely Cold One steak later tonight for the High Elf army. In come the Spearmen to support, and yeah, the High Elves are in a very strong position right now. Alright, Tyrannok Chariots coming in for a nice side charge onto the Saurus Warriors. Pock Sentinels, although they will never terror out because they're immune to psychology, are probably going to start routing soon. They have 7 models left. There goes the route. And, yeah, Moondragon just doing so much for this High Elf army right now. Alariel just making sure she escorts these dinos off the field of battle. And yeah, I mean, at this point I'm struggling to see what the Lizardmen could do to the High Elf army. Just seems like the High Elf tools are all here on the table, and the Lizardmen don't really have anything to react. I mean, Tempest is there, but I guess if she gets a Tempest down and the Chameleon's King Shawl right there, they can snipe down the Moondragon and Alariel, but that seems very unlikely at this point. Star of Avalorn going down, though, on top of the Tyrannok Chariots, and they still have 3 models, so think of all of the units you can heal. This is definitely the most important one for the High Elves, as well as the Loremaster of Hoth, and that's just making army losses kick in, and that's a GG. So a valiant defeat to the Lizardmen. And looks like Aetherion's in a straight